Hello beer tubers and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the master of hoppers. Today checking out some West Coast IPA. I found this one on Beerdome. The fact that they had this was, as soon as I saw it, I had to pick it up because this is a collab with North Park. North Park makes some of the best haze, well, also haze, but some of the best West Coast beer around. But yeah, it's a collab between Garage in Spain and North Park. And I think it's because North Park was over in Spain for a festival, and then they brewed up this collab with Garage Beer Co. So it's a West Coast IPA, as it says, a collab with North Park. It is called EPILOGUE HYPERNOVA, and it's 7.2%, and it features, listen to this, Citra Incognito, Citra Spectrum, Citra Cryo, Simcoe T90, Simcoe Cryo, Mosaic T90, and Nelson T90. So loads of different hops in there in loads of different formats. And that's one of the things they're quite known for at North Park, is that they use a lot of different hop products in their beers. They use like all the, things mentioned on there. And they use CGX, and they use Lupamax, and they use Sub-Zero Hop Keef, and they play around a lot, which is awesome. I think that's one of the things they're quite known for, is that they play around with a lot of advanced hop products. But let's check this one out. So it looks like the modern West Coast IPA. This is what gets me excited these days. Super pale hoppy beer, and it's somewhat clear. There's a little bit of haze, but you get that on these still. Even though they're West Coast IPAs, they often have a little bit of haze because they're very heavily hopped. It's got maybe a slight golden hue, but otherwise it's very pale and yellow. And that's usually just because they use simple malts, just like Pilsner malt, pale ale malt. Like there's not like any caramel for coloring in these kind of beers. And then maybe some wheat or something, but often it's like really simple grists so that the hops can shine. But yeah, white head on there. Let's check out the aroma on this one. I'm excited. This is about a month old, a little more than a month. Let's try it. Smells nice. It's not the same pop as you get with the North Park Westie. And that could be due to the age. I don't know, maybe also process age. So it was canned on, let's see, the 3rd of November, and we're actually the 23rd of December today. So it's a month plus 20 days. So not the freshest, but still it smells really good. There's a lot of dank citra. I'm getting loads of dank sweet citrus and bright pithy citrus fruit. Like a little bit of a weedy dankness. It smells super clean as well, as you want with these kind of beers. There's a little bit of a tropical fruit vibe as well, like some pineapple. A little bit of blueberry kush, maybe from Mosaic. But I definitely think it's a massive citra bomb, mainly on the aroma. And maybe just a smidge of Nelson too. There is a little bit of a Southern Hemisphere diesel-y thing. It smells pretty good. Let's give it a taste. Cheers. Thanks to Beerdome for the beer. It's nice, but it does not pop the same way at all as like the North Park ones. It's definitely bitter, which is nice, and got that like bitter grapefruit kind of aftertaste. But like the North Park beers, they just like explode. I've had them with quite a different number of months on it. I've had some that are a couple months old. I've had some that are like 4 weeks old. I've had some that are 2 weeks old. And they pop more than this. And this has been out of the fridge for over 20 minutes. But it's definitely mainly citra forward. It's sweet citrus and some passion fruit and pineapple. And then like a drying bitter grapefruit aftertaste. But it's a bit of a dud, to be honest. Like, it's decent, but it's not like saturated on flavor. I wonder how high the hopping rate is on it. I mean, mentioning all these hops on it, it sounds like there's loads of hops in it. But it's just not really got that level of like burst out of the glass, which I really hope for. Like, I just remember, like, for the first time when I had hop fu, it was just like, oh my lord. And like, so if it's 20 days, so it's almost 7 weeks, I guess. So not like mega fresh, but I bet this was banging when it was just released though. It feels a bit underhopped right now and underwhelming. You can feel like there is some of that brightness and the dankness and citrus and all this, but everything is just so played down. Like it's not as wafting and smashing in your face as you usually get with these kind of beers. I wonder how high the dry hop is. They usually are around at least 5 pounds per barrel at North Park or higher. They're doing quadruple dry hopping now, but it could also just be processed. Like I've heard these guys do nuts things like flush the whirlpool with CO2 for hop flavor, which just seems like bonkers. Like I would never think of doing that just because like the yeast needs oxygen for fermentation. But I don't know if that's part of it. It's just like the dry hopping rates on this is a bit lower than what they do at North Park. I'm not sure. It's just, well, Garage usually also do quite heavy dry hops and whatnot. It's just a little bit underwhelming. I don't know if it's the process or what it is. Like it doesn't seem oxidized or anything. There's just not like that much sing and snap and pop, which you want in these kind of beers. But I love that it's actually bitter because there's also some people making modern West Coast IPAs and then they just dial back the bitterness. So it's like clear, clean beer with lots of hops, but no bitterness. And that's the key factor of a West Coast IPA, that it has to have a level of bitterness. It doesn't need to be scraping your palate out, but it needs to at least be bitter. Because some are, almost like clear, done like a hazy, but clear, with lots of hop flavor, which is nice, but you're just lacking that bitterness that dries out in the end. But yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It's really refreshing, really sessionable, really enjoyable. You can there is something. I mean, there is a snap and bite of hops, like a brightness again, like dank citra, a little bit of passion fruity, pineapple, zesty, lemony, limey nuances that like digs in. Like there's a little bit. It feels like there at some point at least has been more of a popping hop character. I just want to see. I don't know. I mean, it's probably not going to be hazy. But sometimes when you use like advanced hop products and whatnot, I don't know. I have an idea that things like in hazies sink to the bottom of cans. So if you swirl stuff up, that can help. Nah, it's pretty much the same. Yeah, it's the same. It's a little bit of a dud. It feels like it's had more hop flavor than it does, but it's just not like, it's not got that burst. That's a shame. I was really hoping for this one to be like ace because it says North Park on there, but for me it's just not, which is a shame. But maybe it's just because I drink it at a month and 20 days instead of when it was just released. But who knows? I think it was worth a shot for sure, and hopefully this means that they'll play more around with this at the Garage instead of just doing a lot of haze. Well, they do a lot of different stuff these days, but like haze is what they are known for. Grade on this, I'm a little bit disappointed. I'm like, this does not break the 90s for me. It's just lacking intensity of flavor for my tastes. So maybe an 88 or something, 87. It's good. Well-made beer. No off flavors or anything. I just want more of that like pop, sing, bright, awesome flavor. And I'm not really getting that. So yeah, too bad. But still nice stuff. Still enjoyable. I definitely drink this over most hazy still. So if you guys had a chance to try Epilogue Hypernova from North Park and Garage, let me know what you thought of it. Thanks a ton to Beerdome for the beer. I got this one on their shop. I'm not sure if they still have this, but they got a different set of beers from Spain among these guys and also Basqueland and whatnot. So check them out. Link for the shop is down below if you want to check out some Spanish craft beer. And as always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Ring the bell for future notifications about videos. And I'm going to say cheers in some West Coast IPA and see you guys in another beer review.